Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your March 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me. I will not be soliciting you for anything. Do not be scammed. All right, with that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Libra, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. Now let's see what your chakra energy has to say for this time. Libra, March 1st to 15th, 2021, Libra. March 1st to 15th, 2021, Libra. March 1st to 15th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh, these two. Yeah, these two. Okay. So we're starting off here with self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. And then we're moving into divine wisdom, which is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above your crown. That's really quite beautiful. Oh, goodness. Get them to stand. Oh, brilliant. Okay. So now the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. We have the Knight of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The Eight of Cups, the Page of Swords, so you're coming through Libra as a student during this time. And then you have the High Priestess, which is gorgeous. You have the Queen of Swords, so now at your heart you are a queen. You're really embracing your powers. You have the Three of Swords. Oh, interesting. The Chariot, which is Cancer energy, time frame June 21st to July 22nd, and the Four of Cups. Then we have the World. The Devil, which is Capricorn energy, time frame is December 22nd to January 19th. The Tower, and the Knight of Wands. So you have 3 major arcana cards, 1 court cards, Wands, of course, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, so let's look at the energy during this time that you need to be mindful of. This would be energy that people, that channels that you could be watching online, or TV shows or books that you read, like, have this energy. Just be mindful about it, because you can be really sucked down the rabbit hole with it, or it can be really scarring and impactful. That's what I mean by sucked down the rabbit hole. It just kind of, it doesn't leave you feeling as good as you want to. Okay, so let's look here. What energy this Libra needs to be mindful of? March 1st to the 15th, 2021 Libra. What energy does Libra need to be mindful of? March 1st to the 15th, 2021 Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Just these two. Okay, fantastic. So we have here the Princess of Cups. This is gossipy. This is somebody who is immature. They might not be immature in years, like young in years, but definitely the way they conduct themselves, the way they handle situations. You might sit there and think, wow, I thought you would be better than this. I thought you would know more than this, but they don't. They also really love to hold on to drama and hurts and pains and disappointments and angers and upsets. And that becomes their whole entire life. So be very mindful of this person. They want to kind of pull you into their drama, because, and they also want to kind of get your secrets from you, get your gossip, because they will use it against you. And this is just a feeling of like, I want to make you feel as emotionally out of your comfort zone, not even out of your comfort zone, but just guilty and bad and overwhelmed as possible. So be very, very mindful of this right here with the Princess of Cups. It moves you to the Prince of Pentacles. This is somebody, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is somebody who is very kind of stuck in their ways. It has to go a certain way. There's either a certain narrative that they've already planned out, they've already mapped this out in their heads, and they need you, Libra, to just fall into place. This is also a sense with a person who, is very rigid, very uncompromising, and they need things to move forward. They've already kind of asserted themselves in a place of power, which of course is what being on horseback is about, and is saying, I need to move forward like this, and either you come along or again, you're wrong. And so that's going to be something that you're fighting against during this time, this sense of either you agree exactly like I say you should agree, or else you're just wrong. And I can't even believe you would go down that road. So that's something to be very careful about, because there is an embrace here of your own curiosity, of your own discovery, of diving deeper, the whys and the how comes. And there's this tremendous strength of your heart, but it's sandwiched in between the hurts and the regrets and the angers and the upsets. And you are being given a gift that challenges you, and it pushes you out of your comfort zone. It has you seeing things quite differently than you have before. And there's this resurrection of power and understanding, this finding your voice, these things blossoming forward. And that's where self-mastery comes into play, because there is such power around you that when you are embracing the solar plexus chakra, when you are looking at how to align yourself, how to master yourself, how to move forward in your truth, how to see what it is that you desire, you're opening up a door to more. And what you're doing here is saying, this is me. This is where I need to be. This is how I need to be. This is what I'm moving forward for. This is what I desire. And it starts to put you in alignment. And as it puts you in alignment with your ideas and your ideals, it has you seeing what rings true with you and what doesn't. It brings you to divine wisdom. It brings you to a place of knowledge, of understanding, of seeking these deeper truths, these deeper wisdoms. And it's like divinity is putting you on a path during this time. And you might feel it's a little bit like a treasure hunt, but there's this sense of wisdom guiding you towards something more, to fill a void that has been in you for too long, to sit there and really embrace your power, find this harmony, this balance, this understanding. And it leads you during this time to really looking at and being a defender of your heart, knowing that, yes, the emotions are high. Yes, it feels like I am having to slay dragons, Leviathan, and not knowing how to move forward. And at times, yes, that will be the case. But when you have the Knight of Cups, as you do here, when you have this warrior of your heart, and so often we sit there and we poo-poo our hearts. We sit there and we say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. We sit in our energy and we negate who it is that we essentially are. And that's not okay. That's what leads us to feeling lost and overwhelmed and taking advice that wasn't good for us, because we think, oh, I'm moving forward in the way that I should be moving forward, instead of listening to our souls, sitting in our bodies, in ourselves, and being that person that we need to be. So with the Knight of Cups, you're battling the waters. Emotions run high during this time. It's not going to be all smooth sailing the way that we want it to. We like things to be easy and smooth and just kind of flow into each other. Here, it's like, okay, I'm going to be challenged. And we're going to be challenged because the wisdom is coming. We're going to be challenged because the alignment is coming. Your gut, okay? And this whisper in your ear from divinity, from your angels, from your spirit guides is so important. The King of Cups is being that warrior of your truth, is saying, this is me. This is what my heart needs. And this is me weathering the storms and saying, I am coming out of this stronger and better than I ever realized I could be. It moves us then to the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is walking away from something we once thought we would love. It's walking away from something. It's not being defeated. It's, once again, sitting in ourselves and saying, this isn't right for me. This doesn't make me feel, in alignment with who I should be and who I want to be. This isn't part of my dreams. This isn't part of my soul. And yes, our souls. The way our souls connect to humanity, the greater view and desire of what it is that we want. And so here with the Eight of Cups, we look at this with quite profound honesty and openness. And we say, this isn't for me. And there's nothing wrong with something not being for you. We tend to think, oh, don't quit. Or maybe this is, no, we do. We tend to think, oh, I'm not going to quit. Or we tend to think, oh, I'm just going to run away. Those are definitely the reactions I have to things. It's like, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. And then there's the sense of, oh my gosh, I don't want to fight this fight anymore. I don't want to be doing this anymore. Just walk away. And those are the extremes that Spirit is showing me here. And I laugh because they are two polar opposites. And so it's very interesting to have those reactions. But part of us will want to sit there and conquer because we have that warrior spirit coming forward. We have that warrior queen crowning our hearts. We're going to want to fight and say, you will not defeat me. I will make this work, or I will, claim this power. But sometimes, and a lot of times, where we're looking at what we want, we forget what divinity wants for us. And I know it sounds so blasé to say. It sounds so easy to say, oh, think of what divinity wants for you. But it's so important, because if we connect with our hearts and our souls, if we connect with the power of ourselves, and we say, this is me, and I can sit in this energy quiet and calm and be contented with myself without having all these distractions around, that's powerful. And at times, things have to have endings. They just do. So new beginnings can come. This is a shift. It moves you to being a student. Now, this ending can be a serious, profound ending. It could be the ending of a relationship. It can be the ending of, a career path. This could be the ending that you walk through that's still impacting your life. It could be a divorce. It could be, a changing of careers where you're you're sitting in that energy and you're saying, wow, it still affects me. I still have scars from it, most definitely. Okay? It could be scars from a Capricorn energy, but it can be scars from feeling chained. So something that became, at that point, that took on a life of its own. Spirit was saying it became greater than you, but I'm not sure if saying it became greater than you is the right way to define it, because it became all encompassing. But it necessarily did not become greater than your spirit and your understanding and your truth. It leads you then to the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is this brilliant sense of being the student of ourselves. And I'm starting to see this as also being a student of our breath. We don't think about breathing. We don't think about so many things until it's taken away. And as somebody who became very, very sick with lung problems a few years ago, and just thought like, wow, that was it. That was all the time I got on this earth. And I was so tired that it didn't even matter. To focus on the breath, to focus on the power of the lungs, that is so important, because at times it can feel like it gets robbed from you. And you can also feel like your voice has gotten robbed from you along the way. And that's something that you're definitely reclaiming. You're definitely looking at things and saying, this is who I am. I stand in this power. I claim this truth. I understand this about me. And as I sit here in my knowledge, as we meditate, as we contemplate, we're opening up the doors to more. And so by practicing breathing through our noses, by, what is his name? Wim Hof, who is the Iceman, right? Who does the breathing exercises. By practicing, and I'll link that. I'll write myself a note if I remember, because I always forget the readings as soon as I'm done. So I'll try to remember this. But with his exercises, his breathing exercises, it's empowering, it's invigorating. And this is what we're becoming a student of. Not only of the breath that we inhale and exhale, but also the power of our voice, the power of what we're discovering, the power of our truth. Not in the sense of I'm wounded and I get to perpetuate that wound, but in that sense of I get to find my strength. I get to find my power. My song isn't done yet. My path is still here. My fight forward is still going. And that makes us into such unbelievably strong people. We're also looking at new ideas. You can find that you're just curious, immensely curious. And I would highly, highly lean towards the fact that you will be. We have the divine wisdom coming forward. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Queen of Swords. You are an air sign energy. Air sign energies are just curious. It's kind of like trying to keep out the wind, trying to keep out the air. You never can. There needs to be this constant learning, this constant developing, this constant understanding. And it brings us to the High Priestess. It brings us to this place where we start to claim a throne that we didn't even know we had, a power that we couldn't even see within ourselves. The High Priestess makes me think of when I was little. I was terribly shy, all right? And it's kind of like that shyness, but it's also how the world tells us this is what strength looks like. This is what power looks like. This is what success looks like. And what if we're just different? What if we're different and we don't act like them? What if our strength, our beauty, our power isn't in being the loudest voice in the room, isn't in being able to kind of manipulate the situation so that you accumulate the most money, but it's in being kind. It's in being honest. It's in doing a good job in what you do. It's in connecting with your children or your grandchildren or your nieces and your nephews, or just with the world at large. What if that's your throne? What if that's your power? And what if you spent so much time thinking that that was meaningless, when it was so meaningful, when it meant everything? With the High Priestess, we're claiming a voice again. We're planting our seeds. We're embracing so much more. And the High Priestess is this sense of deeper understanding, deeper truth, deeper knowledge. And it's going deeper than what we had originally seen. It's the veil lifted from our eyes. It's saying, this is me. In one of the decks, and I forget which deck it was, the High Priestess was the female pope, which there is the story, of course, of Pope Joan, who was a female pope back way early. I want to say 500, but that seems wrong. but it could be. But back super early in Christianity, or, just early in time. And she took on this power. And it is a myth, it is a legend, and some people say it is truth. But it's power disguised. And it's finding that power is not limited the way that we think it is. This is spiritually awakening and understanding and having a deeper grasp on things. And it moves us to the Queen of Swords. Now, with this Queen of Swords, I'm just going to take a moment and look at it, because I didn't like it when I first saw it. I didn't. I just thought, oh my gosh, it looked very Banshee-esque. You have the faces here, and it's like, what are these? The faces of sorrow. But what are these? What if these are the voices on the wind? What if these are our truths and our understandings, and the way that we become, and the way we scream forward our truth into this world when we are born? It's kind of like we begin with a cry. Do we end with a cry too? Or do we end with a sigh? It's looking at what it is that we want, and it's being the warrior queen. It's being the queen of our truth, but also the might of the voice. And if you know the legend of the Banshee's cries could be heard everywhere. And so here, and they rode on the wind and they carried so long. So here it is the voice of our truth, the voice of what we desire, the power of what we understand, the brilliance of who we are, coming forward. And us saying, this is me. This is what I want for my life. This is where I'm moving towards. This is what I desire for myself as I embrace my truth. And the thing with the Queen of Swords that I don't think we focus on enough in the tarot is that to be a Queen of Swords, to be a master of the sword, takes tremendous skill. Here you are learning. So you're learning that tremendous noble skill, because a sword could only be wielded by somebody of noble birth. That was it. No commoner was allowed to hold a sword. That's why in pictures of peasant uprisings, they're always carrying pitchforks and, all these kind of makeshift farm equipment, weapons. And you would think, oh, okay, that's what they had on hand. But they would have a sword if it could protect them. And so they weren't allowed it. They were at a disadvantage already. So here, it's being able to be at an advantage of what it is that you want, of the way you look at things, of the way you're deciphering things, of the way your mind has been trained, your body has been trained, you have been trained. There's a skill to you that needs to be developed, Libra, as it needs to be developed in all air sign energies. If it is ignored, there's going to be just a gaping hole. It's just going to feel like there's something missing. And it's the power of the voice, the power of the mind, but the power of the skill it takes to wield it. To wield your voice with power and precision, to state your truth with knowledge, kindness, and determination, and to move yourself forward on a pathway that is quite extraordinary. And it brings you to the Three of Swords. It brings you to all the hurts and all the pains that scar the mind and the heart. But they mostly scar the mind, because they'll be the thoughts that you come back to. The heart, yes, you can bring up the emotions, and that can also be crippling. But there is a sense here of looking at the hurts, the despairs, the angers, the upsets, the deep scars that have been planted within you. And it's so much more than just saying, I'm upset. It's the things that become part of our psyches, the reasons why we've developed certain coping mechanisms, the shyness, the addictions, the doubts, the fears, the chaos that is a part of our lives. And I put shyness in there because we don't think of that as being crippling. But as somebody who was very, very shy and still is very, very shy, it is something that is very powerful to look at and say, okay, well, why? Why did I feel? Or why do I feel like I need to hide away? What is it that I need to look at to bring my voice forward? Because that's part of you during this time, bringing your voice forward into your world, into your reality, into what it is that you desire. The Three of Swords is looking at your truth and saying, this is me. These are the hurts and these are the pains that tried to destroy me. This is the depression that wouldn't let go. This is the failed marriage and the parent that didn't care, or the caregiver who didn't care. These are the hurts that I have been through. These are the atrocities that I have lived through. But I am still strong. And this is also giving honor to what you have endured that has left such lasting scars. Because so often we're like, oh no, it's nothing. I'm fine. I'm just going to smile through it. It's all going to be okay. We have to release. We also have to name it. To name a hurt is to look at the pain, look at something that you fear, look at the pain and say, why is it that this is the hurdle that I can't jump over? What is the power here? What is the voice? And if you look at it and you fully understand it and you give it a name, because we're better when things have names and faces. It's just a human thing. But if you start off even in the abstraction, this is the color of it. This is the sound of it. This is the smell of it. This is the taste of it. We can start to name that which is most poisonous to us. And then start to evolve. Start to conquer it. Start to say, this is what I have to work on. This is what I see. These are my challenges. And it leads you to being a warrior of your heart. You're embracing your knowledge. So your heart and your mind are working together, which is so exquisite because I'm of the firm belief that we are emotional beings. And as emotional beings, we need our hearts and our minds to work together. Because if we become purely emotion all the time, just letting our emotions rule us, it's chaos. And if we are purely logic, just always saying logic has to rule me, it's also chaos because it's cold and it's unfeeling. This way, it's unstable and, unpredictable. So to have them come together and say, this is my logic, these are my emotions, this is my truth. It brings us to being the warrior. And that's what the chariot is. The chariot is the warrior. The chariot is the person who charges forward, who says, this is where I want to be, this is what I desire, this is who I am. And we forget that in ancient times, the charioteer was a highly skilled person. Okay, it was a king, a queen, an emperor, an empress, there we go, and a pharaoh. They all rode chariots, right? Isn't it hypothesized that King Tutankhamun died from falling off the back of a chariot? Now, I don't know. There could be new hypotheses going around, but I remember that very distinctly. And this is a sign of might. So here we're charging forward. We're holding on to the horses, which were this beautiful sign of strength and understanding and truth and speed and freedom and wealth. And we're being moved forward in a way that we hadn't expected, in a way that we hadn't thought possible. And this is a time where we kind of rein in our emotions with our logic and say, I'm guiding myself towards a better life, towards a more profound future, and towards a truth. And it brings us to the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is, are you sure? Like, the Four of Cups is this gift that divinity is giving us that doesn't feel like a gift at all. It feels like one more thing that we need to take care of. It feels like one more thing that we need to worry about. It feels overwhelming and it's a burden and it's, it's so much. But this is the gift that we don't see until it starts to unravel itself, until it starts to become powerful and prevalent within our lives. And so with the Four of Swords, with the Four of Cups, we're looking at things and we're looking at this gift from divinity. And it's like, how does this fit in? And why is this a gift? And how am I moving forward in this? And it starts to make sense. But this is over time. When we get the Four of Cups as a gift, it isn't the gift that happens and it manifests right away. It's the gift that we work towards. It's the gift that seemed like a curse when it first came. That was an extra burden. That was extra, chaos. And now we're looking at ourselves and saying, oh, that's what that was for. That's why I walked through that hell. That's why that adversity was put in my path. Because there's a bounty, there's a brilliance here that gets to be a part of your life. And it moves you to the world. It moves you to opening the world. Why? Because it challenged you in a way that you hadn't anticipated. And you're looking at it and you're like, can I move forward this way? And there is going to be this sense of apprehension. Why? Because you're tired of fighting. You really are, Libra. You would like things to be calm and quiet and smooth and just easygoing. And that's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. But a lot of times in life, we find out what we want because we find out what we don't want, who we're not, where we're not headed. And so with the world opening up to us, and with us, more importantly, with us opening up to the world, it's like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Oh my gosh, I never knew I could move forward this way. oh my goodness, I didn't think. And so here we embrace power and prosperity, bounty, beauty, and truth. And we start to see ourselves as being part of a greater whole, as being part of the world that we want to create for ourselves. Not the world in general, not having to be out there in the midst of everything. But how do I stand in the world of my truth, in the place that I desire? What do I think I'm worthy of? And what do I doubt I'm worthy of? Because there's also the sense here with the world, the Three of Swords, and the Page of Swords, that you're looking at things, and there were doors that were closed, but you had closed them, locked them, and barred them for yourself, consciously or subconsciously. And now you're becoming a student of how to move forward, of where it is that you want to be. And it's having you look at things much more honestly. You're looking at the despairs, the angers, the upsets. The devil comes in, and the devil is in the details. Sometimes it is the passing words that the person will not even remember saying that scar us the most. It is the way the world wanted us to be. Society said, oh, you should be like this. And your heart is saying, but I need to be something else. This is the ensnarement, the trap, the chains, and not realizing that we can walk away from them, not realizing that we can change this narrative, embracing our power, embracing our understanding, looking at our truth. The devil wants to pull us down. It wants to drown us. It does. But it's also the greatest teacher, because it's being able to stand in what we have learned, in what we see as ourselves, and say, I am not my failures. I am not my disappointments. I am not my hardships. I am not my addictions. I am not my anger. I am so much more. And once I step away from those chains, once I take them off of me, I am not mesmerized by them anymore. I can start to live my life. And it brings us to a tower time. So it's so funny because in the public arena, you're doing this huge shift and you have the world open to you, but it can feel like everything else has fallen apart or you had lost so much to get to this moment. And the tower is divinity pushing you out of your comfort zone, saying you don't get to stay in this nice, warm, comfortable way of being. You're going to be pushed forward in a way you could hardly imagine. Excuse me. Now, you might have lived through the zone already, through this tower time. And you may very well be still healing. Tower times could be 16 years or more. If they're less, that's awesome. But a lot of times, once we're pushed out of our comfort zone, once we're seeking, once we're finding, we're set on a path that we never imagined ourselves being on, and we could hardly imagine the conclusion of. It's looking at things so much more honestly, really, sitting there and saying, I see what failure looks like. I know what hardship is. I know what pain is. But I'm still soldiering forward with kindness, respect, and prosperity at my heart, with a sense of I can achieve because I believe. And it's not being delusional. There's a huge difference. The tower shakes us to the core and says, things are changing. How are you going to embrace it? You're not allowed to be comfortable all the time or any of the time anymore. I'm going to keep on pushing you and pushing you until you reach your potential, because human beings are forged in fire. We don't learn when things are easy. We just don't. We like it easy and comfortable and warm and cozy. I was going to say comfortable again, but let's go with cozy. We like that. But when we're pushed out of our comfort zones, when life gets hard, it's time to show up. It's time to show up. I always say show up and shut up, and get down to work. And I know it's harsh to say and a bit rude, but it's time to show up and do what needs to be done. Because this is life-changing. This is a change that cannot be stopped. And you know what? When you reach the end goal, when you reach the happy spot, the place that you had been looking for, you're not going to want to. You're not going to want to have stopped this change, because it has brought you to a place that is so aligned with who you are that it's extraordinary. And it doesn't mean that you'll have gold and riches and mansions. It means that things become calm and quiet, And even if it's just a little cottage, like, in the countryside, in the woods, it is yours. It's a powerful truth. It's that old, Nordic saying, better to be king of a cottage than servant in a castle. Better to be king of your own life than servant to some unrealistic expectation that will forever keep you in debt and forever keep you down. It moves us to the Knight of Wands. Passion, determination, fire, and truth. Saying, this is what I fight for. This is who I am. This is where I want to be within my life. I am moving towards my grace. I'm embracing why I get out of bed in the morning. I am moving towards something so much greater than what I thought. And I'm fighting for it because it is my truth, my reasoning, my glory, and my goals. The Knight of Wands doesn't let up. In the public arena, you're fighting for something quite amazing. And it's taken you so long to get to this moment. It has changed so much about you. And will keep on changing fundamentally so much about you. Let's go deeper. Libra. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And one bonus card. The Three of Cups, the Six of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Sun, I love that, right over you, so that's beautiful, the Two of Wands, the Six of Wands, oh my goodness, excuse me, the Devil card, over the Devil card. Be very careful, okay? In the public arena, there's something tricky that comes your way. It's like once you handle it, like once you see it, the world opens, but it's like as the world is opening, as you're finding this place, there's some sort of like sabotage or something that comes for you. The Empress, okay, claiming that throne, just like you were doing with the High Priestess, claiming that throne, claiming that power, having that beauty come in. The Knight of Coins, and the Knight of Swords. So you have yourself as a student, as the Queen, and also as the Knight, as the Defender. So with the Three of Cups, I always see the Three of Cups as the person or as the people who raise their glass to us, who celebrate us, who, kind of make this promise to be there for us, and then just aren't. They can't be what they're supposed to be. These are caretakers, guardians, parents. These are lovers, friends, work colleagues. These are the people who let us down, who make it hard for us to trust, who, kind of mess with our heads because of it. But this is also the knowledge, not that we have to be lone wolves and only do things by ourselves, but to rely very strongly, not on the words of others, but of the power of ourselves, of our passion forward, of actions counting louder than words. As we defend our hearts, as we move forward from these hurts and these pains, this is something where we look at it and we look at this pain within ourselves. We look at the negativity held over our hearts, why we can only give so much of ourselves, why there is this question and this doubt and this, fear of failure, or this dream that we have that's so big and yet we cannot seem to walk into it. We look at that and it's like, okay, now it's time to see where, yes, this hurt came from, but also to know that it doesn't get to play the leading role in our lives anymore. It brings us to the Six of Swords, taking up our knowledge, taking up our understanding, and moving forward. Will the waters be rocky? Absolutely. But we are going to learn so much, and we have learned so much. It brings us then to the Four of Swords. As we claim this wisdom, as we claim this knowledge, as we see people and things so much more clearly, there is an honor in looking at our lives and how much we have overcome and saying, okay, I see me. Because so often we say, oh, I see the other person. We can even say, oh, I hold space for that person. I embrace that in that person. But do we ever see ourselves? Do we hold space within our hearts, within our souls, for ourselves? Do we give ourselves the same slack, the same understanding, the same compassion that we feel fit to give a stranger? Here, it is stepping into our power through humbly understanding our path, our hurts, our disappointments, everything along the line that has made us who we are, and that has us embracing the sun, glory, passion, prosperity, success, bounty, beauty, brightness. It has us looking at ourselves as queens and finding that, yes, there has been hurt. Yes, there has been pain. And there will be again. But there is beauty and passion and brilliance here. There is love and light and laughter. The sun is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. And it brings you to the Two of Wands. As you passionately move forward in your truth, as you go after what it is that you desire, all right? As you are that charioteer, you start to again see your world opening in a way that you hadn't anticipated, in a way that you didn't expect. Seeing yourself moving towards a greater goal, a greater understanding, a greater truth than you imagined. And it moves you to the Six of Wands. As you get this gift, it doesn't feel like a gift. We start to look at how to celebrate ourselves. We start to learn how to celebrate ourselves, how to say, this is me. This is what I want for my life. This is how I'm moving forward. I get to celebrate me. Instead of constantly putting ourselves down, which is what we usually do a lot of the times when we talk to ourselves in our heads, okay? Or when we look over what we did and we go, oh, I could have done that differently. I could have done that differently. Now it's time to stand in our truth and say, I did my best. I embrace my power. I celebrate me and where I am right now on my journey. I know that there is so much more to go. And I know there is so much further to go. But I celebrate me in the now. It brings us to the Devil. It brings us to this hold that chaos, hurt, pains, disappointment, anger, these chains have over us as we're trying to move forward, as we're embracing our world. It also brings us into the awareness of corruption, of anger, of, things not being as they seem. And as we open to our truth and we say, this is my path, nobody gets to choose it for me, we weaken the chains that have held us for too long. It brings us into, again, claiming that voice, claiming that throne, knowing our truth, saying, this is me. When the tower has come, when the rubble has settled, this is what is intrinsically important to me. This is what I value the most and what is most important to me. The Empress plants the seeds, creates the nourishment, moves forward in the power. And that's what we are doing. So often here we are looking at truths that seem to be wishes. These are truths that become reality, that become our waking dreams, our greatest hopes, our most powerful purpose. And it brings us to the Knight of Coins. It brings us to being a defender of what we love and what we want, of where we want to be, of the foundation that we're building for ourselves. And to say, this is me. This is what I need. This is what I want. And this is where I'm headed. We become, during this time, with the Knight of Coins and the Knight of Wands, defenders of what is powerfully shaping our future, of our beautiful and powerful connection to the earthly plane. It brings us to the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is, once again, being that warrior. Now you have all 4 knights coming up. This is a time of beautiful defense, of beautiful claiming of power. This is you slaying the dragons, saying, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is who I am. I'm claiming my life. And as I do so, I claim it in every single avenue and arena of being. I claim it within my prosperity. I claim it within my passion. I claim it within my soul. And I claim it within my mind. That this is the way I'm moving forward. That this is what I desire for my life. That I am ascending to heights I never thought possible. And embracing power, truth, and dedication I never realized could be mine. This is no longer hoarding away our gifts, but saying, this is the gift that was called to my soul. This is the beauty that moves me forward. It moves us to the spirit animal message. Libra. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, fantastic. So we start off here with the electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. Okay, it's time to charge what it is that you've been holding so dearly inside of you. It's time to bring them to life. See the bigger picture with the giraffe spirit. Don't get caught up in the minutia. As air sign energy, we tend to get caught up in the minutia of things, looking out at the littlest, tiniest detail, and it can't all be right until it's perfect. No, just kind of go, jump, see what happens. It brings us then to the squirrel spirit. Believe in yourself, Libra, because that starts everything. Believe in you, in the seeds that you are planting, in the ideas and the dreams that you have. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the antelope spirit. Life is speeding up. It is. It's speeding up and it's taking you on an adventure you could hardly have realized. It brings you then to your subconscious person message, which is the Queen of Pentacles, embracing your prosperity, calling your energy vibration to rise, to be in harmony with the world around you, with the natural world, okay? Not the world as declared by anybody else, but the world of nature and the world of self. It brings us then to the subconscious chakra message, excuse me, which is determination. Again, the solar plexus chakra. At times, it feels like you are swimming against stream, as if you are fighting with all your might just to get to where it is that you know you're supposed to be. That determination serves you well. There's a stubbornness to you during this time that is absolutely exquisite, Libra. Don't lose it. It moves us then to the subconscious tarot message, which is the Ace of Swords. God's Source Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing you a gift of knowledge, of understanding, and of truth. You are more than taking it. You've proved that time and time again within this reading. But there's something more that's coming. There's something more powerful, more honest, more you, that brings you into alignment with yourself, that opens up the gate, that hones your skills, that pushes you in a direction you never thought you would be. And it's like, all right. It's kind of like challenge accepted. It brings you then to go deeper into the subconscious message. And it brings you to the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is this gift of the Ace of Swords, helping you to realize your dreams, helping you to bring them forward, helping you to stand in your power and stand in your understanding and say, this is me. This is what I most wish for. This is what I most desire within my life. And I get to embrace it all. Maybe not to, 150% each and every time, but I get to embrace it. I don't hide it away in the dark corner and then say, oh no, it can't come out. It's too important. It's my safe haven. Our dreams so often become that, just dreams, our safe haven to go to when life becomes too hard and we need to quiet the world. Now, your dream is becoming part of your powerful and beautiful truth, becoming part of your waking world. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we realize how truly magnificent we really are. Take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.